Welcome back to another episode of the Mentoring Minute with Dan Comeau. We're going to get to Dan's tips for this week, but first let's hear from our podcast sponsors. We want to thank Hometown Ticketing, the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. Learn more at hometownticketing.com. Hometown Ticketing, simple and easy online ticketing. We want to thank Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack. They sponsor the Athletic Director's Toolbox segment of the podcast, and we really appreciate their support. Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack are a quick, easy, and affordable way for you to collect some comprehensive data that allows you to evaluate and improve your athletic program. Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack also gives you access to the 95% of the players and the parents who really love your programs and helps demonstrate the importance that a positive athletic experience has for them. Go to athleticsurveys.com and check out their testimonials, and then give them a call at 1-800-738-6466. You can also email them at info@athleticsurveys.com to get started. Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack. Let them help you take your athletic program from good to great. We also want to thank Huddle. Huddle powers sports. More than 180,000 teams, including the best in the world, are using Huddle to elevate the performance of their student athletes and teams using video and analytics. Huddle's a complete platform for performance. They've got online tools, mobile and desktop apps, smart cameras, including the Huddle Focus, which we have in our gymnasium. Our basketball coaches and our volleyball coaches just love it. Of course, analytics and a lot more. Huddle is built for every level of play, starting with club and youth teams up through high school and college, and even the professional ranks are using Huddle. You're in pretty good company with over 6 million users, including your student athletes, a lot of their parents, and definitely the coaches of the college and university teams that you're trying to get your kids recruited to. If you want to learn more about Huddle and how your school can become a Huddle team, go to huddle.com and talk to their pros. Huddle.com. We power sports. We want to thank Violet Defense for sponsoring the Educational AD podcast. Violet Defense is dedicated to protecting our world from germs by bringing the power of UV disinfection to everyday spaces. Their patented technology enables them to harness the power of the sun to incorporate ultraviolet light into products and environments like never before. Whether you're ready to implement existing products, or if you'd like to explore researching and developing a custom deployment of their technology for your school, Violet Defense has the solutions and the experience you need. Go to violetdefense.com for more information. They really will impress you. We want to thank Sideline Interactive. You know, it's becoming harder and harder to fund an athletic department these days. But Sideline Interactive's indoor scoring tables and video boards can generate $10,000 or more every year while creating excitement in the gym and the ultimate game day experience for your student athletes. We actually have a Sideline Interactive video scoring table in our gym, and it is a fantastic product. Go to sidelineinteractive.com or call 832-786-0302 to schedule a live web demo to see their tables and boards in action and find out exactly what these fantastic products can do for you. You can also email them at sales@sidelineinteractive.com. That's sales@sidelineinteractive.com. Wall of Fame by Vital Signs has a mission to bring your school's legacy to life. They provide a variety of interactive touchscreen options, along with an extensive library of templates to make it easier than ever to recognize the athletic achievements of your students, both past and present. For ideas on how to showcase your school's diverse history, along with your proudest moments, go to vitalsignswalloffame.com or learn more and get started with your own digital Wall of Fame tribute. Call them at 614-981-3589 or email them at sales@vitalsignswalloffame.com. That's sales@vitalsignswalloffame.com.
All right, let's go.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Mentoring Minute with Dan Comeau. Every week, Dan shares a mentoring tip for athletic directors. Dan, what do you got for us this week?
Let's talk about transportation today. I want to just give you a list of the best practices on how to transport student athletes. And then after the break, I want to talk about some do's and don'ts when it comes to transporting students and how to make sure that they are safe. Some issues to consider as a coach or as an athletic director is the size of the team, the destination in which you're going, and the cost of the trip. Some of the best practices, according to the National Federation of High Schools, the best way to transport students is through school buses because it's part of the district. Sometimes that's not feasible because of the size of the team. If the district has school vans, that would be your next step. Going down the line, rental vans, but you have to be approved, and we'll talk about that later on, why the rental vans need to be approved. Coaches driving, and the last thing you want to do is transport students in private cars. Usually districts will ask parents for the driver's license and a proof of insurance to keep on file in the athletic office, barring any problems. So I want to talk about some do's and don'ts on how to handle the kids on trips and some transportation ideas after the break.
Before we take that break, I'm going to put you on the spot here. What would be your suggestion for school with something like a golf team where there's not that many kids involved? You're not efficient to put them on a 46 passenger bus, but what are some best practices for golf?
Golf and bowling, and even wrestling, we rented vans from Enterprise, and we had a very good discount statewide in the state of Florida, and had the coaches drive.
Okay. All right. I was just wondering about that. I was just talking with an AD recently about that. We're going to find out some of those transportation tips from Dan in just a minute, but let's take a quick break and hear from our sponsors. One of our great sponsors is Huddle. Huddle powers sports. More than 180,000 teams around the world are using Huddle to elevate the performance of their student athletes and their teams using video and Huddle analytics. Huddle is a complete platform for performance. They have online tools, mobile and desktop apps, smart cameras, including the Huddle Focus. We have one of those in our gym, and our volleyball and basketball coaches just love it. Of course, there's analytics and a whole lot more. Huddle's built for every level of play, from the club and youth programs up through high school and college, and even into the professional ranks. You're in pretty good company with Huddle. Over 6 million users, including your student athletes, a lot of their parents, and definitely the coaches of the college and university teams that you're trying to get your kids recruited to. If you want to learn more about Huddle and how your school can become a Huddle school, go to huddle.com and talk to their professionals. You won't be disappointed. We also want to thank Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack, and they sponsor the Athletic Director Toolbox segment of our podcast. Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack are a quick, easy, and affordable way for you to collect some comprehensive data that allows you to evaluate and improve your athletic program. Athletic Surveys by Lifetrack also gives you access to the 95% of the players and the parents who really love your program. It gives them a voice and helps demonstrate the importance that a positive athletic experience has for them. Go to athleticsurveys.com and check out their testimonials, and then give them a call at 1-800-738-6466, or you can email them at info@athleticsurveys.com to get started. Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. Let them help you take your athletic program from good to great. We're back with Dan Comeau's Mentoring Minute. Dan, you were going to share some best practices about transportation. What do you got for us?
Yes, as I was saying before, school buses is the best way to go. If you have school vans, that would be great. Rental vans have to be approved. And what I mean by that, there are certain vehicles that at least public schools in the state of Florida are not allowed to transport students. 15-passenger vans, for example, are not allowed in the public schools because of their design. Minivans that hold 7 to 9, even 10 per people have a side panel on the doors that is a safety bar in case of a T-bone attack from another car. The 15-passenger vans do not have that. Therefore, the state has said you can't use 15-passenger vans. Private schools, they have their own regulations. Convertibles, you can't use convertibles with students. So check with your district to find out what is approved and what is not. The rental companies I've found, they will try to give you anything that's on their lot. So you've got to remind them and educate them on what is approved and what is not. So it's very important for the athletic director to know that. If a parent wants to take their child home from a game, have a face-to-face meeting with that parent so that you know they're there. It goes back to one of the other mentoring minutes, trust but verify. You can trust the student to be telling you the truth, but verify that the parent is actually there. They could be going home with a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or a bunch of kids, and they're just going to want to take off. So have a face-to-face, make sure you see the parent. And that parent can only take their child. Don't let them take other people's children. It could be an issue of an accident, and you're in charge of that student till they get home or till they get in the parent's hands. The best practice is for that child to bring you a note and say, hey, I'm going home with Susie's mom. And at least you have a written note from that parent. And I would, again, call that parent just to make sure the note was written, trust but verify. Never set up a carpool. This is very important. If you're going to a game and it's a Saturday and you don't have a bus and you're going to a baseball game, softball game on a Saturday in the spring, don't tell your kids who to drive with. That puts the onus on you. And if litigation comes back because of a car wreck, you set it up, you're involved, you are liable. The best thing to tell your kids is meet me at the game, period. Just meet me I don't care how you get there. It's not my responsibility to get you there. Meet me at the game. And that way that the onus and the liability is off your shoulders and into the hands of the parents. So there's some tips there to some do's and don'ts about transportation and making sure your kids are safe. We had a situation, just a quick story. We had a volleyball girl, walk off the court because she was taken out of the game and left the gym. My head coach had to make a decision. I got to follow this one child or else stay with my kids. She called me. We couldn't find her on the campus. We called school security and the police and the parents. And the parents said, oh, I was there. I picked her up. Again, there was no face-to-face. The coach didn't know where the child was. The coach is in charge of that child until the child is safe in the parents' hands or on the school property. So, and that was an away game. We had to dismiss her from the team because we could not trust that student to go to an away game and follow instructions. So it can get hairy at points.
Yeah,
so that's all I have for today, Jake.
Oh, but again, it illustrates such an important role that, as the AD, you have to help set that policy. You have to communicate it with coaches, and then the coaches actually have to execute that. They have to hold the kids and the parents accountable to that. And again, communicate to you as an AD, very, very important stuff. Okay? Dan, as always, if one of our listeners wants to reach out and pick your brain a little bit about this topic or others, what's the best way they can get a hold of you?
Happy to give you my email. It's dcomeau19@comcast.net.
dcomeau19@comcast.net. Thanks, Dan. Really appreciate it. For listeners, we do this every single Tuesday, and the Zoom recordings of these mentoring minutes are being uploaded to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel, along with our other interviews. We appreciate you listening today. Come back again next Tuesday for another Mentoring Minute with Dan Comeau. We want to thank Sideline Interactive. We actually have a Sideline Interactive video score table in our gym, and we love it. We use it for games. We also use it for signing day ceremonies. It's a tremendously versatile tool. You know, it's becoming harder and harder to fund an athletic department, but Sideline Interactive's indoor tables and video boards can generate $10,000 or more every year while creating excitement in the gym and the ultimate game day experience for your athletes. Go to sidelineinteractive.com or call 832-786-0302 to schedule a live web demo. You can also email them at sales@sidelineinteractive.com. That's sales@sidelineinteractive.com. Wall of Fame by Vital Signs has a mission to bring your school's legacy to life. They provide a variety of interactive touchscreen options and an extensive library of templates to make it easier than ever to recognize the athletic achievements of your students, both past and present. For ideas on how to showcase your school's diverse history, along with your proudest moments, visit vitalsignswalloffame.com, or to learn more and get started with your own digital Wall of Fame tribute, call 614-981-3589 or email them at sales@vitalsignswalloffame.com. You won't be disappointed. And we also want to thank Hometown Ticketing, the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. You can learn more at hometownticketing.com. Hometown Ticketing, simple and easy online ticketing.